women aren't as mysterious as they want you to believe. Behind every confident smile and composed demeanor are emotional vulnerabilities, subtle triggers most men never notice. In this video, we'll uncover 9 of them, not to manipulate, but to understand. Master this insight, and you'll stop chasing approval and start commanding lasting respect without saying a word. Before we get started, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss any of my tips for men on how to get the woman of your dreams. And if this video resonates with you, leave a 1 in the comments. If not, leave a 0. Your feedback helps me create better content for you. Let's clarify something. Women are not as enigmatic as they often seem to portray. Challenging, indeed. Yet, it remains beyond comprehension, far from clarity. The reality is that every woman, regardless of her confidence, composure, or enigmatic nature, possesses emotional vulnerabilities. Subtle triggers that, when engaged with intent, cut through the distractions and reach her essence directly. And no, I'm not referring to manipulation. I'm speaking of a deeper understanding, a mindful awareness. While others wear themselves thin in pursuit of charm and constant approval, you will remain composed, poised, and formidable in the most appropriate manner. In this video, we will explore the 9 key vulnerabilities that every man should understand. Not to manipulate, but to avoid being manipulated. Some of these will catch you off guard. Others may bring a wry smile, and a handful might shed light on a breakup that once puzzled you. Prepare yourself, for what you are about to discover will challenge your preconceived notions about attraction. If you seek clarity and desire mastery over your life, take the step to subscribe now. This journey isn't about seeking approval or being agreeable. It's about evolving into the man who leaves a lasting impression, the one who is truly unforgettable. Let us proceed with purpose. 1. True confidence operates independently, never seeking validation. This is a lesson many men overlook until the moment has passed. What genuinely captivates a woman is not the clamor, but the essence of being present. Research in behavioral psychology indicates that individuals tend to reflect the emotional state of those they engage with. Consider this perspective in relation to attraction. When you enter with neediness, insecurity, and excessive explanation, those energies resonate within the space, causing her to retreat from what you project. When you enter with a serene, steady, unwavering confidence, one that requires no proclamation, it not only draws others in, but also diffuses tension. That is the true vulnerability. It's not about showy confidence or mere performance. It's about a deep-rooted self-assurance that remains steadfast in silence, stands strong when faced with withdrawal, and recognizes its own worth without seeking validation from others. Many individuals tend to speak excessively, make grand promises, and give more than necessary in an effort to validate their worth. They smother her with validation, not realizing that the more they chase, the less she feels. Understand this paradox. She finds safety only when you cease your quest for her approval. That is the essence of the philosophy: to maintain your ground, to take action rather than simply responding, to stay composed amidst challenges, emotional fluctuations, and psychological tactics. A woman's most profound emotional desire is not for control, but for a sense of containment. She seeks your strength, not in control, but in guidance, not in chaos, but in tranquility. When you can endure discomfort without being rattled, when you can stay composed without retreating, you convey a message more powerful than any praise could express. Your purpose is not to seek her approval. Stand firm in your own convictions and extend an invitation for her to walk alongside you, rather than bearing her burdens. That transcends mere attraction. It becomes a compelling obsession. Most individuals remain stagnant, preoccupied with proving themselves rather than focusing on their own growth and transformation. True confidence arises from a deep sense of inner calm, not merely from how one carries themselves outwardly. And when you achieve that mastery, she leans in, not due to your force, but because you exhibited a calm assurance that rendered any pressure unnecessary. That is the type of presence that commands attention and leaves a lasting impression. Secondly, achieving understanding without the need for exhaustive explanations. As we navigate through life, particularly with the passage of time, we often find that emotional fatigue takes the place of impulsive reactions. Not due to a lack of feeling, but because we have come to understand the price of trying to articulate ourselves to those who are never truly willing to hear us. For numerous women, particularly those who have borne emotional burdens throughout their lives, silence often serves as a shield. Not a tranquil state, but one forged from exhaustion. The weariness that comes from being overlooked, misunderstood, or unfairly categorized as challenging for merely sharing one's true feelings. Here lies the point where many falter, not from malice, but from a lack of focus. They are preoccupied with crafting a reaction, addressing the issue, or sidestepping unease, failing to see the reality that lies before them. Yet the individual who can take a moment, who can gaze into her distance without seeking immediate understanding but instead embodying calmness, that individual disarms her silently. I once encountered a woman in her late 60s who had endured 2 marriages and concealed more suffering than she revealed. She shared that the instant she rediscovered love wasn't marked by a sweeping gesture or an elaborate dialogue. A man observed her disquiet and made the deliberate choice to sit quietly beside her. Only presence, no judgment, just a comforting stillness. That was the first time, she remarked, that she truly felt acknowledged in years. True understanding lies not in mere words, but in the clarity of our perception, in perceiving without the necessity for dominance, in witnessing without bias. That is the ability that contemporary men seem to have forgotten, and yet it is precisely what women today desire. To experience deeply, rather than to dissect intellectually. To achieve understanding without the need for demonstration. To truly understand one of the most profound emotional connections in a woman's heart, it lies not in extravagant gestures or witty remarks. It is a calm and steady focus. It is your ability to observe her suffering without retreating or attempting to resolve it. Your true power lies in creating a space for others rather than providing solutions. In a world that incessantly clamors for expression, the individual who masters the art of feeling without immediate response stands out as truly remarkable, not for the words he speaks, but for the profound depth of his listening. Thirdly, embrace the power of silence when it is most needed. There exists a silence that mends the soul, and another that brings ruin. One experiences a sense of abandonment, the chill of indifference, the deliberate separation intended as a form of retribution. However, the other type, the one that emanates from an individual who has gained control over his emotions, represents an entirely distinct power. That silence embodies existence, and only a select few attain the maturity to truly embody it. Many, when faced with emotional strain, succumb to panic. They engage in excessive dialogue, offering justifications and explanations, mistakenly believing that verbosity equates to mastery over the situation. Yet in truth, it merely exposes a lack of emotional steadiness. A person who responds to every challenge reveals that their inner self is still a work in progress. What about women? They observe, not always with awareness, but deeply felt. They sense the fractures in your composure. They perceive when your quietude stems from fear rather than resilience. A man who remains silent, not from arrogance but from conviction, who opts for calmness while others hastily voice their thoughts, that man exists in a realm beyond the ordinary. As Marcus Aurelius stated, your control lies within your mind, not in the external circumstances. Understand this, and you will discover your inner resilience. Silence is not a withdrawal from the world. It's about maintaining your position without expending energy on disorder. When faced with a woman's tests, when emotions surge, and when dialogue becomes manipulative, your most powerful tool lies not in your words. It is your self-control. The strength to take a moment, to inhale deeply, to experience the turmoil without letting it define you. Seneca remarked that while speech may hold value, silence possesses a greater worth, especially when it is appropriately timed. This is particularly significant for individuals managing the emotional burdens that come with relationships. When you respond impulsively, the weight of your words diminishes. When your silence emerges from a place of grounded awareness rather than avoidance, it naturally draws attention. It demands reverence. She might not grasp it right away, yet she will sense its essence. In a world overwhelmed by distractions, such a presence commands attention. Cease to associate stillness with frailty. Genuine strength remains calm in the face of adversity. It grounds you. It is not essential to prevail in every debate. It is essential to secure your tranquility. At times, the most powerful response is to remain silent. Fourth in line, unwavering eye contact that remains steadfast. There exists a timeless quality in the manner a man meets another's eyes, a fundamental essence that transcends the need for language, demeanor, or allure. Deep, unwavering eye contact is a skill that has been overlooked. Not the courteous nod exchanged when you encounter someone in the aisles of a grocery store. I'm referring to eye contact that remains steadfast, that lingers for an extra moment when others avert their gaze. That fleeting moment holds immense significance. It is the dwelling place of self-respect. It is the place where fear conceals itself. Regrettably, this is the point at which many men hesitate. I recall encountering a retired Navy officer during a veteran's storytelling night at a community hall. In his late 70s, he possessed a quiet, steel-eyed demeanor that commanded respect without demanding attention. It asserted its authority. As the younger men filled the room with their noise and nervous laughter, he remained composed in his silence, not detached, simply present in the moment. When someone addressed him, he took his time before responding. He merely observed, completely, serenely. That moment of stillness would frequently unsettle the speaker more profoundly than any words ever could. That was his fortitude. His gaze was calm and composed. It was sincere. I have nothing to prove. I have observed far beyond your understanding. True strength emerges when we cease our reactions and begin to observe with clarity. Many individuals forfeit their strength due to an inability to remain composed within themselves. When a woman gazes upon them, truly gazes, they often find themselves retreating into a spiral of overthinking, self-doubt, or an urge to break the silence. They focus on action rather than embracing their true selves. However, women are observant. Though unspoken, the sentiment lingers within them. The subtle spark within your gaze, that adjustment in your posture, it reveals whether you are truly steadfast or merely putting on a facade. The reality is, profound eye contact transcends the realm of seduction. It revolves around the pursuit of self-control and discipline. When you can maintain her gaze without the desire to impress, without seeking her validation, you transcend the ordinary presence of others in the space. You transform into the figure that lingers in her memory. Your calmness conveys what your words cannot express. I remain steady and composed. I am sufficient. I am not here to pursue. I stand ready to observe. In a chaotic world, the individual who can hold her gaze and remain composed becomes truly memorable, not due to any display of charm, but because he remained unshaken. Fifth in line, the pursuit of profound enigma. Consider this intriguing insight into the human mind. Research indicates that individuals tend to be more drawn to those who gradually unveil their true selves, not in a deceptive manner, not through engaging in frivolous activities. By embracing restraint and being fully present, one can cultivate an organic sense of mystery. In a society where personal details are freely exchanged, the individual who maintains a sense of mystery and refrains from revealing his entire self in initial encounters becomes truly captivating. And yet, many individuals misunderstand the essence of mystery. They mistake it for evasion. Some believe that vanishing, providing vague responses, or maintaining emotional distance renders them captivating. However, that is not a mystery. That is a sign of immaturity, masked by the scent of cologne. Genuine enigma, authentic masculine enigma, arises from profoundness. It stands unmasked. It lies in serene assurance. A person rooted in steadfast principles requires no justification to be comprehended. He understands that true significance lies not in the clamor he creates, but in the depth of his existence. Women are not attracted to men who disappear and then return. They are attracted to men who embody stories they wish to explore at a measured pace. Individuals who select their expressions with intention, who unveil significance gradually, who resist being overwhelmed by the world at first glance. The Stoics referred to this as self-containment. It's a deliberate distance from emotional turbulence. It's the steadfast choice to remain composed and not to deplete your essence merely to capture another's interest. In practice, this entails communicating only when there is meaningful content to share, rather than seeking mere recognition. It signifies being entirely engaged in the moment without surrendering your entire narrative as a measure of your value. You evolve into an individual who prioritizes listening over speaking, responds with intention, and creates space for exploration. The space you create is where attraction flourishes, not due to concealment, but because you have come to terms with the fact that seeking immediate understanding is no longer your pursuit. Mystery is not about being elusive. True wealth lies in cultivating an inner richness that draws others towards you. When you choose to live in such a manner, not to deceive but to safeguard your essence, each word holds greater significance. Each moment of silence is a deliberate decision, and every engagement resonates with lasting impact. Cease the urge to overshare in a bid for validation or to demonstrate your authenticity. Take a moment to breathe, restore your inner calm, and allow others the opportunity to earn your trust before delving deeper. Share your thoughts in the comments below. I approach with profound understanding. From this moment forward, there is no need for you to maintain an air of mystery. Embrace your completeness, Sixth in line, her appreciation for a man who embodies purpose, transcending mere passion. Epictetus advised against the need to articulate your philosophy. Embrace it fully. That line resonates more deeply as time passes. At a certain moment, all the distractions, the drive, the passion, the thrill, begin to diminish if they lack a foundation in something more profound. It is time to resolve this matter definitively. Many individuals think that passion by itself suffices. Some believe that by speaking loudly, dreaming grandly, and pursuing relentlessly, they can achieve true impressiveness. Yet the reality is that passion devoid of purpose leads only to disorder, like a flame without a home, fervor lacking a target. Women may be momentarily attracted to the energy, yet it is not the factor that ensures their lasting presence. What anchors her, what truly drives her, is a sense of purpose. Passion serves as the driving force of our emotions. Purpose embodies steadfastness. Enthusiasm propels you forward. Having a clear purpose sustains you through the toughest times. Many speak of their passions, yet few commit to the daily practice that anchors them. That is the figure she recalls. That is the individual she places her trust in. The composed individual does not succumb to excitement. He remains steadfast, unaffected by the need for recognition or approval, committed to his duty regardless of external acknowledgement. He rises with inquiries, not diversions. What aspects of my life can I govern today? What can I mold with intention, rather than mere strength? That is what distinguishes him from others. He is not swayed by external forces. He remains steadfast in his principles. She seeks a partner who stands firm on his own, not one who relies on her validation to progress. She seeks a man whose actions remain steadfast, regardless of her presence. That is the foundation of trust. That is what transforms a person into an unwavering force. What is the contradiction here? When you stop seeking validation, your presence grows stronger and more impactful. When you cease the frantic pursuit of attention and embrace a steady commitment to discipline, she perceives it in your posture, in your tranquility, in your clarity. Cease the pursuit of fleeting passions and recognize that mere movement does not equate to true significance. If you've been under the illusion that excitement will win her over, it's time to reassess your approach. Ground your energy. Contemplate what you are creating that holds significance, even in the absence of recognition. That is the essence of purpose. That is precisely what she yearns for, even if she struggles to articulate it. Type it below. I act with intention, and truly embrace it. There is no need to prove your worth when you embody it fully. Seventh in line, her concealed desire to be guided without the weight of domination. Allow me to share a tale that has remained with me, not due to its volume or theatrics, but because of the insights it offered into authentic masculine leadership. I observed an elderly couple at a quaint train station in Virginia. They were likely in their 70s. The woman displayed clear signs of distress, bags draped over her shoulder, her voice edged with tension, revealing her unease about the impending delay. Yet the man chose not to engage in conflict. He acknowledged her concerns with a measured response. He regarded her with a calm demeanor, nodded slightly, took the bags from her shoulder with care, and remained silent. He guided her through quietude, serenity, and unwavering attention. He never attempted to alter her emotions. Yet within that seemingly minor action, one could observe the transformation. Her stance relaxed, her tone subdued. She released her breath. That does not reflect true strength. That is the path forward, and she placed her trust in it. That moment encapsulated what many overlook. Genuine leadership transcends mere commands or the pursuit of emotional dominance. It's essential to cultivate an environment where a woman can feel secure enough to relinquish the need to perform and to take charge of everything on her own. In today's world, where countless women have dedicated years to maintaining balance and strength, such resilience is indeed exceptional. It holds profound significance. When I say that women desire guidance, I am not referring to domination. I'm referring to a state of clarity and presence, embodying the individual who remains steadfast amidst chaos, who does not seek validation through victory and arguments, nor pursues fleeting comfort. He maintains a calm presence in the room. He approaches with tranquility. In this pursuit, he etches himself into memory. If that strikes a chord, please share it below. I guide with composure, not due to obligation, but because the moment has come to embody it. Stay the course. What lies ahead is a power subtler than leadership, yet infinitely more compelling. 8. Her openness to expressions that create new realities. Consider this intriguing truth that may catch you off guard. Research in cognitive neuroscience indicates that women have a greater capacity to remember emotionally charged language compared to neutral content. Not merely in recollection, but in the way we respond emotionally. That is not a matter of manipulation. It revolves around harmony. When you grasp the profound nature of that connection, you begin to recognize a truth that eludes many. Your words hold greater significance than you realize. Let us clarify something important. It's not about delivering witty phrases or feigning artistry. Such a display of effort becomes tiresome quickly. True strength in communication arises from being fully present. When you are present, centered, and your expressions arise from a place of understanding rather than the desire for validation. Women do not react to flawlessness. They engage with language that conveys profound understanding. A statement conveyed with calmness, purpose, and deep understanding can penetrate her defenses more swiftly than a multitude of extravagant praises. This philosophy cultivates a profound sense of inner clarity. A composed individual does not speak merely to be acknowledged. He speaks with purpose, grounded in his principles. Marcus Aurelius stated that the essence of a person is shaped by their thoughts. Elaborate on that. Her thoughts are shaped by the essence of your words. When you communicate with awareness, understanding, and emotional depth, you leave a lasting impression. Silence is not merely to be filled. You create vivid inner realms. Consider this the next time you engage in conversation. Are you truly influencing her inner landscape, or merely moving through it without impact? Enter it in the space provided below. I communicate with clarity and purpose. Remain attentive. What lies ahead resonates more profoundly than mere words, and it could become the most compelling skill you ever cultivate. Allow me to share a tale about Andre, a 61-year-old former Marine I encountered in a serene community library. Andre maintained a quiet presence in the room. He was not even the most loquacious. Yet, there was an undeniable quality to his presence that seemed distinct. Calm, unwavering. The atmosphere shifted, a palpable tension present even prior to his words being uttered. I recall the moment I sat opposite him while he shared his story about Linda, a woman who entered his life after years of solitude following his widowhood. She exuded vitality, possessed a strong sense of independence, and was accustomed to managing all matters on her own. Yet in the presence of Andre, a transformation occurred, not due to any attempts to guide her or to gain her admiration. In truth, his words were few, yet he absorbed every word with complete attention. When she expressed her frustrations, he remained silent, allowing her to speak without offering counsel. He allowed her tempest to calm in the quiet of his composure. And as time passed, an extraordinary transformation occurred. Linda became more gentle. She ceased her words as if she were battling against the entire universe. She made more contact with his arm. Her laughter held a unique quality. What is the reason behind this? Because Andre remained unyielding. His presence provided her with a refuge. That is the essential point. Emotional safety transcends the mere act of problem-solving. It's about fostering an environment where she can be free from the need to shield herself. That is the type of individual a woman confides in, with the aspects of herself that remain hidden from others, not due to his request. Yet, it was through his own efforts that he attained them. In quietude, with awareness, with unwavering control. A presence that remains unshaken by turmoil, stands firm in the face of adversity, and does not engage in the chaos of words. It simply exists. Her softness is not something to be extracted through demands. Progress is not achieved through lecturing, pleasing, or attempting to fix others. One arrives at this state by demonstrating, with a steady and composed demeanor, that regardless of the chaos surrounding you, your resolve remains unshaken, not detached from emotions, unmoved by external forces. That exemplifies the principles of resilience and composure. Marcus Aurelius once stated, "Do not squander your time debating what constitutes a good man. Embrace that path. Become the sanctuary in which she finds her release. Become the individual who embodies trust without uttering a word. She senses it in your posture, your breath, and your reactions when her turmoil arises. If this strikes a chord with you, share your thoughts in the comments below." I cultivate an environment of security and support. Ultimately, the individual who gains her tenderness is not the one who forces his way. It is the individual who maintains the structure firmly until she decides to enter it of her own accord. Let's face the truth directly. If you've made it this far, you've chosen to rise above mediocrity. You have moved beyond seeking her validation. Your influence stems from calm assurance, not chaos. What we revealed transcended mere patterns. Your strength was diminishing due to the need for approval from others. Enough is enough. Reflect on this again. Embrace the discomfort and allow it to resonate deeply. Then proceed with the composure of one who remains unshaken. If this resonates with you, then that's a positive sign. That is the starting point for growth. Subscribe if you're ready to embrace your true potential. This channel is dedicated to those who seek growth and transformation in stillness, with strength and resolve. Enduringly. Exercise restraint in your words. Embrace greater strength. And keep in mind, her turmoil fades in your tranquility.